we interrupt your regularly scheduled Voices from the Vortex because it's time for the TARDIS Zone. We have a great panel here for you today, from the Emperor of the Star Wars universe to the Doctor and a Gallifreyan soldier.
Hey Matt, knock knock.
Who's there?
Dewey.
Dewey who?
Dewey who?
And more today on the TARDIS Zone. Into the Vortex!
You're listening to Voices from the Vortex, Episode 23, The TARDIS Zone, broadcast May 2015.
Broadcasting by way of Gallifrey. Stand by for podcast. This is Voices from Vortex.
Hello, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone, the 1-hour block dedicated to interviews with the who's who in our universe. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Matt.
Who is our first guest tonight?
Well, he hails from northern Gallifrey, a land wrought with danger and disaster in the last decade or so.
Nice alliteration.
Danke. Our first guest tonight is a man of many faces, a Time Lord, a hero. He's the Doctor. Hello, Doctor.
Hello! Two dudes from Gallifrey. It's very exciting to be on your program. Voices from the Vortex. What a cracker of a name.
It's great to have you on our show. I see you're here in your 10th regeneration.
Yes, indeed. My 11th face. Or perhaps more, there was this one guy, but he's awfully cranky and I'd hate to wake him up for this. So no, I think we'll leave him out of this. Wouldn't you agree?
Not sure what we're agreeing to, but yeah, why not?
To be fair, there was that time when my previous face was my previous face again. He was, well, a bit vain. But with a face like mine, how could you not be?
Like yours?
Well, yes, not like mine, I mean. Like mine, sure, but the other mine.
Taylor, I'm extremely glad we don't have to deal with multiple regenerations.
Why don't we take a caller?
TARDIS, who do we have on the line?
We have George from the planet Earth, time zone 2011.
Hello, George. How can we help you today?
Yeah, is this the TARDIS Zone?
That's what it says on the door.
Oh, great. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I was wondering, what's the purpose of having a TARDIS? I mean, you guys broadcast through the Vortex. Couldn't you do that from Gallifrey?
That's a good question, George.
It turns out that in order to broadcast locally from Gallifrey, you need a license from the BBC. The TARDIS is the only way we can broadcast without getting sued.
I stole a TARDIS once. Or did I do it in the future?
No, it was your past. It was in your first incarnation.
Oh, hey, what does your TARDIS look like?
Mine is a blue police box. The bluest blue you've ever seen. Think of the bluest thing you've ever thought of, then add more blue. That's how blue we're talking about here. Blue, like the color of, well, blue things.
I think he meant ours, Doctor.
Then again, I'm not sure what the bluest thing you've ever seen actually was. Perhaps the bluest thing you've ever seen was some sort of pale blue. If it was pale, then you'd add blue and it still wouldn't be the bluest thing you'd ever seen. Paradoxical.
George, our TARDIS is actually shaped like an old arcade game, usually Galaga.
And yes, you can listen to our podcast alongside any good Rush tape. The whole thing plays in sync.
In sync! Now there was a great group of Time Lords.
Wait, NSYNC were Time Lords?
Well, of course they were. There were so many group names over the years. NSYNC was the most recent. There was also Boys to Men, the Rat Pack, as well as the original Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
They sure don't look like Presbyterians to me.
Careful with that joke, it's an antique.
Thanks for the call, George.
This looks like a good place for an ad break. I'd like to thank our guest, the Doctor, for joining us on this amazing new show.
I'm just glad one of me was here for your official launch.
It wouldn't be our show without blatant disregard to all those BBC cease and desist letters about copyright infringement.
Thanks for putting up with us, Moffat.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Voices from the Vortex is brought to you by
It's time once again for the greatest sport in the universe. It's about power. It's about speed. It's about time. The great spaceway lanes are open, and this year will be the year as the returning champion Drek McCoy races against newcomer Flavian Squalor and the rebel Time Lord X. Who will win? Who will survive? Join the two dudes from Gallifrey, Matt and Taylor, as they broadcast from their TARDIS deep within the Vortex with special guest commentary. The space lanes are open, and the great space race is on!
Listen up, clone maggots. Are you Sontaran enough to join the 101st Sontar Legion? 10 billion clone brothers of yours are fighting across the galaxy to win the war. Learn honor of facing your enemies in glorious combat. Visit beautiful new worlds and annihilate them. Become a member of the Sontar army, and you too can be one of the Sontar brothers. Sontar-ha! Sontar-ha!
And we're back.
Thanks for joining us for our newest program, the TARDIS Zone. This is an all-inclusive look at some amazing people from Gallifrey.
So far, we've spoken to the Doctor. Well, one of them anyhow. But our next guest is just as exciting.
He's a soldier for Gallifrey, once found fighting on the front lines of the Time War itself. It is our pleasure to introduce Elon Aragon Algernon, the Gallifreyan from Eleusian. Welcome to our show, Elon.
Thank you, Taylor. It's wonderful to be here.
And to have you here.
Tell us, Elon, what have you been up to lately? Elon?
Oh, you would know, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the call sheet. Ooh, looks like we have someone on the line to talk to us, Matt.
Excellent. TARDIS, who do we have?
We have Jorgak McNuggles from the planet Volume 2.
Go ahead, Jorgak. You're on the air with the TARDIS Zone.
Yeah, hey, I was listening to your /show, Voices from the Vortex. What's with all those meanwhile bits you keep doing at the end of the credits?
Wait, we have extra scenes at the end of the credits?
Oh, yeah, those. They're setting up a big payoff this November.
Right, I just wondered, is that really the Master?
Wait, we have scenes with the Master at the end of the podcast each month?
His voice sounds weird.
It's dramatic license, trust me. All will be revealed.
Okay, cool. I'm really enjoying it.
I need to go back and listen to those scenes.
Oh, and what did you do to Elon? He seems really pissed at you, Matt.
Alright, thanks for calling in.
Why didn't you tell me we had something at the end of the credits?
I don't know. I figured you'd watched any movie in the past 10 years and realized there's almost always something at the end of the credits. Yes, sorry, Elon. This is the TARDIS Zone with Matt and Taylor, the two dudes from Gallifrey. We're on live right now with Elon Aragon Algernon, the Gallifreyan from Eleusian.
Alright, elephant in the room. I only agreed to come on this program so I could have it out with you once and for all.
With me?
You're damn right.
Elon, what are you talking about?
Talking about what you did, Matt. Talking about how you betrayed me. How you stabbed me in the back.
Wow, those are some pretty heavy accusations there, Elon.
I'd say, considering I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh no? Perhaps you don't remember our last encounter?
I really don't.
Matt, what's he talking about?
I have no idea.
Come off it. You know. You remember the horrible, terrible thing you did to me, which completely hurt me and betrayed me.
Wow, I have no idea. I've never met you before today.
As if you and I have a long history.
Ooh, this is getting juicy.
Don't encourage him.
I don't need anybody to encourage me. I hate you, Matt from Gallifrey. I hate you for what you did to me.
Hate?
Matt, what did you do?
Nothing!
Nothing? You call betraying a 20-year friendship nothing?
20 years? Dude, what did you do?
Tell them, Matt. Tell them about that night. Tell them about the night of junior prom.
Oh, hey. Sorry. Don't mean to barge back in here. Forgot my pen. Gonna grab that and go. Looks like you guys are having something serious going on here. Don't want to get in the way. Also, do you guys validate parking? Because I'm double parked and was wondering if, validate parking. I guess I'll just check with the receptionist at the front door. So, thanks again for having me on. I hope all this is resolved. Sorry. Didn't mean to. I knocked over a chair here. And, I'll just put this chair over here. And, if I could just... Okay, so here we go. And... Got it. Okay. So, gonna go. Just needed my pen. Thank you again, and I'll get going. So, yeah.
So what night was this now?
You're the worst thing which has ever happened to me.
Hey, look, Matt, there's a caller on the call sheet.
Well, let's go ahead and see who this caller is. TARDIS, who do we have?
Captain Glob of the 5th Battalion Fleet in System Xanadu.
Go ahead, Captain. What can we help you with?
Hello there, TARDIS Zone. I was wondering, what exactly did Matt do to piss off this Elon character?
Thanks for your input, Captain. We'll be moving on to the next caller.
Good question, Captain. It all goes back to the junior prom at the Gallifreyan Academy.
Ooh, story time.
I'd been doing very well with my studies. Extremely well, in fact. And I was supposed to be crowned King of Gallifrey that night at the prom. And my queen, the most beautiful time lady at the Academy, she was my date. And the love of my life, said Jillian Frood.
Junior prom?
That's right, you son of a bitch. Junior prom.
Let's see if there's another caller on the list.
What, so you don't want me telling the universe your dirty secret?
Seriously, I don't remember you. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Elon, go ahead. Finish the story. I want to know as well.
It was just after the first set of songs. The band had gone backstage to smoke, and the DJ was playing songs from Gallifrey at the time. And that's when you did it. You betrayed me.
I did?
You did.
I need some popcorn.
You walked right up to my date and asked her for a dance.
Who?
You!
No, I mean, I asked Jillian to dance?
You did, and she danced with you, and she found you to be so charming. You weaseled your way into her heart that night, and she ran off with you, and I was left to be crowned King of Gallifrey without a queen. Oh, how they laughed at me. I was the joke of the Academy. You ruined my life.
Huh. Elon, listen.
I'm back! Sorry, it takes a minute to make popcorn in the Vortex. Weird, right?
You're the worst person in the universe.
I mean, I'm going to share the popcorn.
Elon, you've got it all wrong. I never ran off with Jillian Frood. I've never even met her.
Liar!
No, seriously. I never went to junior prom at the Academy.
That is true. He was busy that night playing Dungeons and Daleks in his room.
Okay, I really didn't need that to be revealed.
You mean you never went to junior prom?
That's what I've been trying to say to you.
And you didn't steal Sigillian fruit away from me?
No!
You didn't ruin my life?
Seriously. Honestly. Elin, I've never even met you before today, and I've never met Sigillian fruit in my entire life.
Oh. I see.
So, what happened now?
In that case. Hi, I'm Elam Aragon Algernon from Eulatian on Gallifrey. Longtime listener of the show. I'm super psyched to be here. I'm a huge fan.
And on that note, let's go to commercial.
Voices from the Vortex is brought to you by
Crazy Bill Skaldex, use TARDIS Emporium.
Crazy Bill Skaldex, use TARDIS Emporium!
Crazy Bill Skaldex, use TARDIS Emporium.
Hey there, folks! Come on down to Crazy Bill Skaldex, use TARDIS Emporium to get your pre-owned, like new TARDIS. Your time-traveling adventures are just beginning when you pick up a luxury Top 40 with all the bells and whistles. Chameleon Circuit.
Chameleon Circuit.
Negative power coupling.
Negative power coupling.
And a 3-coat wax that just begs to be admired. Ooh-wee!
So shiny.
You don't have to be president of Gallifrey to enjoy the luxury of time travel. Our merchandise is quality, and our deals are crazy! After being rejected from the Martian army for mental instability, I decided to go into the used TARDIS business. And I'm telling you that you'll never get a better deal than when you shop at Skaldex.
Oh yeah.
Come on down to Crazy Bill Skaldex used TARDIS Emporium, out here on the lost moon of Poosh. Just head straight for Skaro and make a left at the Psychic Circus. Skaldex, 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 ho!
A new age for Gallifrey has arrived. The planet of the Time Lords has returned to this universe, and a new leader is required to bring us into the next millennium of peace and prosperity. This November, it will be up to you to elect the next president of Gallifrey. Will it be one of our former presidents, Rassilon, Romana, or the Doctor? Will it be the Rebel Child, the Master, or the Time Lady, Rani? It is up to you to decide which Time Lord can lead us into the future. This November, vote for your choice, and let history tell their story.
Now the theater's ready to play the classic episode. Man, this is exciting.
I never get tired of the older Doctors.
TARDIS, which is your favorite episode?
All of them, but mostly because my sister is in them.
Good answer.
Alright, TARDIS, let's do this.
Activating theater conditions.
The lights are lowering.
The curtain is opening.
Commencing vid disc playback. Enjoy the feature, boys.
Now welcome, folks, I mean it from the heart, because the greatest show is about to start. It's happening right here before your very eyes, and one thing's for sure, you're in for quite a surprise. But then nothing's quite as it seems to be at the greatest show in the galaxy. Now welcome, folks, we got a brand new act. He's a real fine, and no doubt that's a fact. He'll entertain you, he'll make you stare, and our great new act is seated over there.
When the gods of Ragnarok take control of an intergalactic circus, they test the skills of anyone who comes there. But when the Doctor and Ace show up, only they can stop the gods and return the circus to the hands of the performers. Oh, my name is Taylor, and I'm here to say it's another TARDIS Theater review today. We got Matt, the TARDIS. We talking about the show, some classic episodes we never seen before.
Now, this is the story all about how the Doctor's world was turned upside down. Went to the second circus and they said, sit right there and put on a show or you'll face eradication, bitch.
That doesn't rhyme.
What? Wait, we were rhyming? Oh,
a little.
I get it now.
Yes, okay.
I'm sorry, okay.
Oh, so the greatest show in the galaxy.
Greatest show in the galaxy. Which is an allusion to Doctor Who.
I liked it a lot.
I did too. This was your first... No, this wasn't your first McCoy. We've done Dragonfire before.
Yeah, we did that one. So, but this was the first McCoy, like, in true form. I mean, he did a lot of...
Very much so.
A lot of McCoy shtick, you know. So this is a really good McCoy episode. I would suggest this if you're looking for, like, if someone goes, what's a good McCoy episode that sort of encompasses what he's about and stuff, I would pick this one.
Greatest show in the galaxy, which is probably, it was my second episode I had ever seen of McCoy, and very early on, it was in my first year of even watching Doctor Who, so for me, this is sort of a throwback to, like, my early Doctor Who introduction. So it was kind of nice to see it again. I haven't seen it in many years. And forgot some of the little quirks of the episode are a little ridiculous. Now, if you guys paid attention, if those out there who are listening to this review, if you haven't watched it, absolutely watch it. But if you have watched it, there's a lot of characters.
Yes.
I mean, a lot.
And they just kept popping up. That was one thing about this. Is like, I was like, we're gonna cut to these people, and then there's these two guys running through the desert, and then there's this clown, and then there's the three people sitting in the audience, and then there's the ringmaster and the fortune teller and the
I will say my favorite character of the whole thing was Batman showing up at the very beginning, riding a motorcycle.
Yes,
you see him driving, and people are like, "Why are you doing that?" And his response is, "Because I'm Batman."
Basically, that's. I mean, in so many words, that's what he said.
Was he Nord? I think is his name.
Yeah, Nord.
Because I'm Batman. The premise of the whole episode is that the gods of Ragnarok have taken over this circus, and they're forcing anyone who goes there to perform for them for their entertainment. They perform until you die. It's entertain or die. And so it's the Pon farr of circus acts, and it's good. It's a good idea because it really gets into McCoy's darker Doctor stuff. That's something we've kind of touched on before. That McCoy really his whole run, his 3 seasons. He has one season that sets him up that he doesn't really do a lot of darker stuff. They set up stuff with Ace pretty early on, but his whole run, instead of battling Daleks all the time, and Cybermen, and Silurians, and whatever, he battles gods. He battles themes. This is just one of those episodes where, who are the real villains? The gods of Ragnarok. How do you make them villains? You know? So that's sort of the darker Doctor here, in that he's doing stuff above and beyond his normal level of shenanigans. He's taking an interest in these greater beings, which he probably shouldn't be meddling in.
Yeah, and he said he'd been chasing them around before, and he'd witnessed them before. Is that something we've seen in the older episodes, or?
No, this is they were writing darker tones to the Doctor, so they were writing hidden secrets of his past. You're right, he does say, I've followed you before. Well, yeah, he did follow him before. But we never saw it. It was an adventure we were not privy to, so now the Doctor's a little bit more dangerous.
The plot was very simple, and I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the villains too. I thought they were pretty cool. The gods of Ragnarok, and they were sort of these stone statue-looking things that just sat up there and had this sort of omnipotent power. And it was sad that they were just like, those aren't used more, or they were just gone after this, and they were kind of defeated pretty easily, which I'll get to later. But yeah, I really enjoyed sort of the story. That being said, as the plot was so simple, I was kind of lost a little bit. I wasn't sure. To me, the first episode was so disjointed that, which was kind of fun, but I didn't have any idea what was going on. They kept cutting to other characters, and you didn't find out to the next episode, like, oh, they were part of the circus and they're running away, and then this is this old lady. She's not important. She's just there serving them melons or whatever.
The super disgusting melons, too.
Yeah, that looked really gross, and she had to eat all of it.
Poor Ace.
And was that a man or a woman? I really couldn't tell. It was a man playing a woman.
In drag, yeah.
It could have been, but then I was thinking maybe it's just a woman with kind of a deeper voice. It was hard. It was really hard
British,
to tell.
though, they're all about drag queens.
Yes. I'm just gonna assume it was a man. Anyway, no, I was a little confused at the thing with the eye and the pit. Was the eye part of the circus?
So,
was it part
from
of the
what I understood
gods
from
of
the
Ragnarok?
episode-
I was so confused.
Okay, so from what I understood from the episode, the Doctor had said that he'd been following them before, so it sounds like he actually set up this trap. It actually sounds like he set this trap up for them. The sword was used, and it needed the eye in order to attack them. And in order to get the sword and to get the eye together at the same place, he set a trap for these gods of Ragnarok. And they ended up there, and they got snared in the traps when the Doctor got there. He was basically running around trying to make sure all the pieces were set, so he could get the sword at the right time while he was performing, and he could get the eye so he could use it to destroy the gods of Ragnarok. All of this would have happened in a previous adventure that we were never privy to. But this is not the first time, nor will it be the last time for McCoy, that literally this is how the episode goes. Oh, there's Daleks in the skies. They're looking for something, and I must have had it. Do. Oh, secrets and secrets. This is not the first time McCoy goes through this crap.
I really wish he would just say, "Oh, secrets and secrets."
I do too. Then everyone would understand. So there, yeah, like we said, there's a lot of the Darker Doctor in there, but yeah, it's a lot of complicated beginnings to all this. So many story threads right up front. Who was Bellboy and the girl? Why were they running away from the psychic circus? Why were they being chased by a clown, which is everybody's nightmare? Why was Nord going to the circus? Why were they going to the? Why was the captain and Tennille there? The werewolf Tennille. Why was the ringmaster rapping? So many questions, no good answers, and you're just like, one episode, and nothing makes sense. And then as the episodes go on, they just start killing off characters left and right. What do they kill? They killed the girl, and it was a robot who ran the trolley service, apparently.
Yeah, that was the big thing that had to beat, was the robot conductor that took the tickets. And he was guarding the eye that was just, for some reason, it was on the bus. They didn't. Why was there a stranded bus that they just hid?
It was
the
hid
eye
there. Remember, it was hid there by what's his face? Bellman? No, who was the guy? Yeah, Kingpin.
He was dumb. He was dummy or something. I don't remember what deadbeat is what they called him, because he lost the eye and he'd sort of become dumb. And then when he got it back, he was smart again, and he knew what to do, and he knew to help the Doctor and all this stuff. But all these characters were insane. I mean, each character, I was like, what are they wearing? Every character. It's like...
I was just wondering why Coldplay was there at the very beginning. Wait, that's not Coldplay. My bad.
I was like, this must just be the 80s, I guess,
No, I think they were just running out of costumes and it's like, use
we talked
whatever
about
we
this
can
before.
find.
It's like the during the 60s, it was like the 60s version of what they thought the future was going to be like. And in the 80s, it's like, this is what they think the future's like. It's like, well, they dress like it's the 80s, but bigger or more insane,
Right, clearly. Now, I will say my favorite thing was he used the umbrella.
Yes, I love that this Doctor has an accessory that's not the sonic screwdriver. It's really cool. He's always carrying it around. He's got the hat too. He's always wearing a hat. They did a good job dressing this guy.
Of the classic 7 Doctors, 6 of them had something, an item that they would use at one point in time during their stories and their regenerations, and it was important. It was something silly, but like, why did they have it? And then they had it. Hartnell had the little monocle.
Which but he had like a cane too sometimes, like a little.
He did, yeah.
Scraggly.
I just meant the monocle was like, it was used in every story where he had to look really wise about something. Early on with the Aztecs, later on throughout season 1. Troughton had the flute, the recorder. Pertwee had the car. First Baker had the scarf. Davidson had the celery. Tom Baker had a cat pin, but he never used it. I feel like one more season we could have seen what he could have done with a cat pen. But and then McCoy had the umbrella. They all had some item that was just kind of ridiculous. It was a part of their wardrobe, a part of what they had, and no one understood why, but they used it for something. I thought that was kind of cool. I love that we saw him use the umbrella, and of course he was so smug about it.
And you know what? I think this story, it all boils down to just an excuse for McCoy to do magic tricks, because literally the whole last episode was just him doing magic tricks in the arena, and you're like, oh, this is fun, and then you're like, well, you know what? I think this is just like McCoy's like, well, you know what? I'm really good at physical comedy and stuff. Let's write a story that plays to this strength.
Well, that was his strength as an actor, though. Yeah, because that's what he was so good at was that sort of physical comedy.
That's one thing I really like about McCoy too. Is there's all this shtick in there that's like just not explained. It's just in there. Like, it's a totally different show. Like one of the ones at the beginning is when he's juggling, and Ace is looking for her rucksack, and she's like, I can't find it, and he's like, well, that's weird. Things just don't disappear. And like one of his balls disappears
in
like
the TARDIS.
He throws it up and it just disappears and it doesn't come back down. And you're just like, raw, and it's just like it's just a stupid joke that's like not explained why the ball disappeared. It's just
he's all about those little sleight of hand tricks. He's like Troughton loved to tumble.
Yeah.
I feel like he does a lot of that too. He does a lot of that goofy. There's that one part where he says, "You ain't seen nothing yet," and he like spins around, and that's him spinning around. That's him doing most of that. There's a little bit of optical trick to it, but it's almost all him.
I gotta say though, some of the best parts of this episode were McCoy's Schwarzenegger lines that he had when he defeated a couple bad guys. The first one, he defeats the guy on the robot on the bus, and he says, "That's the ticket." And then later him and the werewolf girl are in the cage, and they trick the guards into coming in, and then they hit them with the juggling clubs, and then he says, "Join the club." It was so stupid, but I was like, yes, more of this, please.
It was absolutely the best. Like, come on. He got shticky with it, which is...
Yes, he did.
That's something else that's very McCoy.
Yeah, if they're all like that, then I think I really like McCoy.
Do you have a favorite scene or a favorite moment from this episode, from the story?
I mean, all of the shtick was great, and I think one of the best just shots of the whole story was at the end when the tent explodes and he just like calmly walks away from the explosion.
That was so cool.
That was really cool.
Very action hero-y.
Yeah.
Superhero almost, yeah. James Bond like.
Except it's like a short guy with an umbrella and
right. This is definitely a British hero.
Yes.
American hero would be like 20 foot tall.
He should have been holding a cup of tea. He walked by.
See, that's the difference between Brits and Americans. The Brits walk away, they're like dressed in a full suit, carrying a cane, short guy, ugly face, just kind of walking a few steps with an explosion behind him. Americans, we're like 20 foot tall and shooting laser beams out of our eyes, causing the explosions.
Running in slow motion and
Running
diving.
in slow motion. Diving. Exactly. So.
What about you? Do you have a favorite part?
I do, actually. Absolutely. I don't know why. I don't know. It's so goofy, but the whole thing with him in the cage, trying to outwit the professor and outwit and try to convince the werewolf girl. I don't know why that's my favorite scene, but just That's so McCoy. He's being sly. He knows what he's doing. He knows what his enemy is doing, and he's just sort of talking circles around him, doing circles around him. I just love that. It's those kind of conversations that really make Doctor Who for me.
Well, final thoughts.
Oh, this was an excellent sample of 80s era McCoy Doctor. Like I said, it was a darker Doctor tone. It's a setting, certainly, where he's battling greater threats, not just the normal Daleks and Cybermen, another known riffraff. This is it's the beginning of the end for a lot of things, but I think it really set up New Who. This is a lot more New Who than some of the older stuff, for me at least. So I think this is definitely one of the best you could find in the 80s. Certainly one of the better McCoy episodes.
Well, I really enjoyed watching this one. I thought it was fun. The plot was a little disjointed and a little confusing at times, and I felt the ending was a little bit Deus Ex Machina. Just kind of like he's got the thing, and all of a sudden the whole arena just crumbles around him. And then that's the end. But overall, the silliness of it, the whole circus part, the rapping, the uniqueness of this story. I mean, this is a really unique story in Doctor Who. Sometimes you're like, oh, it's the Daleks again, and it's the same kind of story. It's the same thing, which we found with, Troughton. It's like the same. They're all good, but they're the same kind of like he's with a crew and he solves the same problem or something, and there's the same kind of characters. This one was so unique and so strange that I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun thing to watch, and I would definitely recommend this one for anyone who wants to check out some McCoy stuff. So, yeah, definitely great.
Now, listen up, TARDIS, because I want to hear your rating that you give to us this year. Remember the story and what we've said, and tell us all before we go to bed.
Calculating. Voices from the Vortex is the greatest show in the galaxy. 8 out of 10.
Welcome back to the TARDIS Zone, the 1-hour program where we, the two dudes from Gallifrey, interview important people in the history of the universe.
Tonight, we've spoken with a Time Lord legend, the Doctor, about his life and his journey. And we also spoke with Elon Aragon Algernon, the Gallifreyan from Eleusian, a soldier in the army of the Time Lords.
Now, our next guest is someone very special. He comes to us by way of another dimension. Isn't that right?
Yes, indeed.
Voices from the Vortex is pleased to present the Emperor from the Star Wars universe. Hello, Emperor.
Hello, Matt and Taylor.
Emperor, you currently are the leading member of a galactic empire, spanning thousands of worlds. How do you keep the galaxy happy with your reign?
Easy. With the construction of my Death Star, I keep the local systems in line through fear. Fear of the dark side.
And what of this rebellion?
Soon the rebellion will be crushed, and young Skywalker will be one of us. I mean, the people enjoy my parades to my accomplishments.
It looks like we have a caller on the line for you, Emperor. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Hello, this is Darth Genobi.
Welcome to the show, Darth Genobi, was it? How can we help you?
I was... shut up, dude, I'm doing it. I was going to ask, hey, Emperor, is your refrigerator running?
Why, yes, it is.
You'd better go and catch it then.
Damn you kids for your constant prank phone calls! I swear, one day I'll get you and tear apart your bodies with my lightsaber! I mean treat you to some ice cream.
We have another caller on the line, Mr. Bono from the Toto Galaxy. Bono, you're on the air.
Froto, Ono, Kono, Floto, Slobadilla, Ponyo, Boto, Do.
Everyone's a critic.
We apologize for the language, folks. So, Emperor, there have been some criticisms lately about your reign. You've been accused of killing off opponents to your rule, including the Jedi Order.
That's preposterous! Anyone who opposes me is made an example of, surely. However, I don't just randomly murder my enemies, oh no. I carefully concoct a master plan to overthrow the Republic and annihilate the Jedi all at once and for all. I like long walks on the beach and puppies. Yes, I love puppies. Good. Wholesome. Puppies.
Well, we have one more caller on the line. TARDIS, who is our caller?
We have the Doctor, a Time Lord from Gallifrey.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, Doctor. Welcome back. What can we do for you?
I was thinking, but perhaps if you imagine the bluest sky you'd ever seen, we could assume the color was a light blue and then add blue to it for effect. I mean, the bluest blue you've ever seen.
Never again.
Well, this has been fun. However, I have a galaxy to rule and crush the Rebel Alliance. I enjoy a good Netflix marathon. Maybe some House of Cards.
Thanks for coming in today, Emperor. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment.
Voices from the Vortex is brought to you by
The Library, the largest depository for knowledge in the universe. Come see the amazing world of books. Let your imagination carry you across the world.
Warning, the library is not safe. Do not come to the library. This is a warning to everyone. The library has been compromised. Count the shadows. Do not come to the library. 4,022 saved. There are no survivors.
And encounter new adventures in every page. With the patented Cal technology, the resources of an entire world will appear at your fingertips. We are the future. Come join us here at the library. 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 Come join us here at the library.
Are you tired of fear and death and the inevitability of the end? Would you live forever if you could? The elixir of life, a medical marvel from the Gallifreyan Medical Institute. One drink and you'll never worry about death ever again. I promise. The elixir of life, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Thanks for joining us today on the TARDIS Zone. TARDIS, any parting words?
Next time, I won't validate parking.
Matt?
Next time, I won't invite random soldiers from the Empire.
That's about all we have for today. Join us next week when we interview Cataract 5, the reigning champion of Galactic Ginip-Ginop. Good night, everyone.
Voices from the Vortex is a fan podcast created by Matthew Whitecamp and Taylor Davidson. Starring Matthew Whitecamp as Matt from Gallifrey, Taylor Davidson as Taylor from Gallifrey, Danielle Davidson as the voice of the TARDIS. Music arranged by Murray Gold for the BBC. Doctor Who and all related material is copyright BBC. No infringement on rights intended. Use of material is for satirical purposes and is not intended to be canon. As always, a huge thanks to the BBC and Doctor Who for inspiring us, entertaining us, and giving us one more thing in life which kicks massive ass. Make sure to follow our podcast on broadcastgallifrey.com or check us out on all of our social media pages: Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Tumblr, and of course YouTube. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again in the Vortex.
Thanks for coming in today, Emperor. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment.
I hate you both so much. How dare you bring on a friend of mine like the Emperor and tease him like that?
Hello, Master. What are you listening to this morning?
None of your concern.
Is that a new podcast for those two wretched versions of ourselves?
Yes, they've got a new show.
Those bastards! Someone should teach them a lesson about succeeding when they are clearly too pathetic to live.
That's just what I'll do.
Hello?
You terrible, pathetic wastes of Time Lords. I will destroy you. I will crush your world into oblivion, and then I'll make you regret the day your parents ever took you out of the loom.
Sir, this is Domino's Pizza. What can we make for you today?
Like a pepperoni pizza with mushrooms and black olives.
Don't forget the breadsticks.
Breadsticks?
Yes, the most evil of all the side items.